a fairly big military history in my family. Both grandfathers were in World War II. So I started doing a little bit of research and found out that during World War II they had buried some chemicals. I think it was like tear gas, and we'd been storing some for ourselves and some for the Americans for when the Japanese invaded. And that kind of brought my other interest together, and that's environmental issues, which I think I started looking at whilst researching in Vietnam, looking at the environmental effects of Agent Orange, travelling in Laos. Up north they used to dump a lot of their napalm and Agent Orange and whatever, so the effects on the environment were quite astounding. Like when you get on a bus to Fitzroy, you know, it's lush and beautiful, and then as soon as you get closer you start noticing the environment changing. The worm, the little girls found a worm amongst like just complete desolate space, and each space is different, but there's nothing growing, but it's I like the way that children actually can find these things and are so fascinated, but also that something can survive with, you know, what looks like nothing. As the child of a Vietnam veteran, I've always sort of been wary of maybe an invasion. I grew up on war films. You know, there's hilarious bad 80s film called Red Dawn. Yeah, I had this romantic idea that I'd run off into the hills and I'd be able to survive. And so, you know, I've read up on SAS survival techniques, talking a little bit about evolution and what could happen with evolution with the mixture of chemicals and environmental factors. So the dinosaur here is referencing that evolution, but also the playful aspect of being a child. The enlarged head, you know, it's something very common that you see in Vietnam, but also referencing evolution and I know what could possibly happen. I've always got this underlying instinct to just run, and you know, I've looked into bush tucker and I've got a four-wheel drive, and you know, I just feel ready to flee. In one of the pieces I've got the game quotes, which for me references like your obstacle course that you go through in the army. So it's sort of playful, like children are, but yeah, it's sort of this underlying training instinct.